Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve Riverview Coal Henderson County portal submitted by Riverview Coal LLC for the property located in Henderson County. Let me rephrase that. In the county of Henderson at 6755 Sulphur Springs Road, PID number 35-11.1, containing approximately 55 acres.
Mr. Chairman, can we make that subject to the bonding request of $20,000?
I'm sorry, yes, I wrote it down and still didn't make it. I'll amend my motion to include the 20,000 bond.
And a conditional use permit, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, what about this notification condition? Would that be part of the motion as well?
I'm not sure if we could legally do that. They would agree to do it, so.
Okay. So we have a motion, do we have a second? Second. Okay. Any further discussion? And Secretary, please call the roll.
Kevin Richard,
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett,
Yes.
Mac Arnold,
Yes.
XR Royster,
Yes.
Dickie Johnson, Gary Gibson,
Yes.
Greg Hodge,
Yes.
Stacy Denton, yes, Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Very good, motion passes. Someone tell Commissioner Stave to join us, please.
She's coming.
I think the remaining item on the agenda is the rezoning 1152 findings of fact. Motion. So, Mr. Bishop.
Yes, sir. Previously in the day, I had mailed out the proposed motions and findings of fact. There is one small correction that Commissioner Hodge requests that we make. On page 6, on the first paragraph, I used the term black mold. I believe a better term to use there would be whiskey fungus. And there's a scientific name that I would not dare to try to pronounce at this point. But if Commissioner Hodge is agreeable, I have no issue with changing black mold to whiskey fungus. Thank you.
So, how do we want to get this into the record? You want to read this, or
I would really love not to, but I will if you guys want
what needs to
to.
be done?
It's been presented, have the commissioners, have you, the commissioners, had an opportunity to look at it? The answer is yes.
Yes.
You can make a motion to adopt it as presented or make changes
With the corrected.
as corrected.
Okay, thank you. So if we're comfortable with proceeding, I'll entertain a motion to approve this motion and findings of fact as amended.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a motion to approve this presented motion and finding of facts with the amended verbiage as discussed.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Dixon,
I'm sorry.
may I approach on the topic in discussion?
You may, but I don't think we can revisit the basic
We're
procedure.
tabling it.
But I want to hear from you, please.
My name is Leslie Newman. I live at 412 North Main Street. I swear to tell the truth.
Thank you.
The developer, Mr. Powell, called a meeting of 17 households to explain the plans for the development. At that meeting, there was a discussion about the black fungus, whiskey fungus. At that meeting, and I know that it was brought up at the previous hearing, and the developer at that time committed to be a good neighbor. As I slept on that, my concern is, as an adjacent landowner, homeowner, that perhaps not if, but when the whiskey fungus attaches to my home, trees, vehicle, whatever, how the developer will be a good neighbor to take, to remove that fungus from the property. Is there something, and I'm sorry, but this isn't my area of expertise, is there something that can be requested of the planning commission that would require a financial commitment from the developer to treat the fungus that may form on structures that are nearby? Mr. Powell did assure the homeowners that it's been engineered and that the number of barrels that will be stored on the property are such that he has every reason to believe it will be minimal. That perhaps long-term, we don't know what will happen, those of us who live around. I've heard talk tonight of bonding requirements. I don't have a particular proposal to ask. I'm not quite sure what the planning commission can do. But I'm asking if there could be some requirement to help define what is a good neighbor in this situation.
Thank you. Considering that, we conducted a public hearing, indicated, made a decision based on that public hearing, the testimony that was presented there that evening, I don't think we can reopen the public hearing. Counselor, is there a course of action that we can take?
No, but there's a course of action that can be taken. You have, I'm going to call it an appeal process, that's not accurate, but you have 21 days to request the city to consider this. And they can consider your request. You made it at the last meeting, we could have, but it's been voted on, and it's been voted on in such a way that the public hearing can't be reopened. So the planning commission isn't allowed to consider your input. Tonight is only to make findings of fact, a motion and findings of fact consistent with the record of the public hearing.
Thank you. Is there anything else that would be appropriate to ask of this commission at this time? Or will there be another stage of the proceedings, perhaps in zoning or some other place that this request could be made? I heard what you said.
The answer is it will come back for site plan and that sort of thing. But that's a much different kind of consideration than a rezoning when you'd have the opportunity to ask the applicant to do certain things. So you could still do that through the city commission.
So what would be her course of action? Contact the city manager?
No, you come to our office, get a form. Any aggrieved citizen can file an application that the city hear it. And once you do that, they're required to.
Mr. Chairman, I need to ask, Brian, do they have to go before the city adjustment board?
My recollection is that is correct.
That would be a place that you could also make a request to get conditions placed upon the distillery.
The Board of Zoning adjustments can require conditions where the Planning Commission cannot. Planning Commission can request the applicant to do something. If they refuse, Planning Commission can recommend to the city that it be turned down, but they can't require, Planning Commission cannot require a condition. Board of Zoning adjustments can.
My intent in appearing here today is not to object to the rezoning or the project, but to request that there be protection for the surrounding property.
Well, what you would be doing is not objecting to it, you'd be requesting that the city hear it. Then you could make your request. But you may have you should do both, but you may have even a stronger position at the Board of Zoning Adjustments.
And how was she?
A stronger voice. That's out of my bailiwick. I actually know because I represented the city of Sebring at the Board of Zoning Adjustments. But Board of Zoning Adjustments isn't under the planning commission. But watch the paper for the notices and get prepared and here.
Well, do you know if there will be notices to adjacent property owners?
You can probably
Sure.
work out what you need without all of the hoopty.
Thank you. Will there be notices to adjacent property owners before the Board of Zoning Adjustment meeting?
Should be. Yeah.
Adjacent, though, can be this or that. Why don't you check
Make a
with...
request of the adjustment board,
Okay.
make sure they send you a notice.
Thank you.
Who was she contacted to do that? Okay, very good. Not going to do that before the evening's out.
Thank you. Did you want to address something?
No, I was just gonna say, the notification is very similar to what the planning commission does, so it's my belief that any neighbors who touch or across the road would be notified via the Board of Zoning Adjustment. But Mr. Davis can answer that definitively.
That's mine, too. But
Thank you for your time. I know it's been a long evening for you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
we'll talk to Andrew.
So do we have a,
Got a motion waiting to be voted on.
okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this proposed motion and findings of fact, is that correct? Any further discussion on it? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Kevin Richards.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett. Mac Arnold.
Yes.
XR Royster.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Gary Gibson.
Yes.
Gray Hodge. Stacy Denton. Yes. Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Heather Tace.
Yes.
Very good, motion passes. I think that concludes the planned agenda. Anybody have anything else they'd like to bring before the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor of adjournment, say yes.
Yes.
Anybody opposed? Stand adjourned.